Hi, Denny. George Diaz, Orlando Sentinel over here. Little offbeat a little bit, but you talked about, you mentioned in hanging out a little bit with LeBron James a couple of days ago. Can you talk a little bit about in detail about how that all came about and how it went about?
It was just at our hotel basically, and one of the guys that I know that works at the hotel asked if I cared to meet him, and I said of course sure. So just briefly talked to him for just a second. So it really wasn't anything too big, but obviously he's one of the more interesting guys of this past year. So it was good to experience that.
Did he know anything about NASCAR or you? Or?
He's heard of it.
There you go. Hey,
I don't know. I really didn't ask him too much about about it, to be honest with you. I got to thinking though. I was sitting here and I was looking around and the scene around him and whatnot. I was thinking, why in the world would he leave Cleveland for this?
Yeah. Let's go. David, Ed, and then Lewis, Bruce. Go ahead.
David Caravello, NASCAR.com. Denny, everybody talks about the pressure in this kind of situation, but can you look back at like when you were at South Boston and didn't know if you were going to have a ride, and then getting the one-shot deal at Darlington and the Gibbs Nationwide car? Can you kind of compare those kind of instances and the pressure you felt then and what that's like compared to now?
It's about the same, to be honest with you. When you have one race to kind of prove yourself, and there was a few instances. One was the truck at IRP, the very first truck start. And where we stepped up, we finished top 10, and then the nationwide start stepped up, finished top 10 first time. So it's pretty similar to those, but there were a lot more variables. There was no set number in which I had to finish in those races. It was just do the best you could, and obviously this weekend's more of a numbers game than that. So I'd relate it to about the same though, but for me, it's I've been treating these last few days just as if it was any other race weekend. I've just been busier.
Let's go with Ed, Lewis, Bruce. Go ahead, Ed.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Denny, all three of you have talked more and more about being more aggressive, and you're going to have to be more aggressive. To make it as clear-cut as possible, is this going to be a race where we see three championship contenders where all three are going to win the race flat out?
I think you're still going to see. I think you're going to see a race very similar to what you've seen the first 9 chase races. I think you'll see. For us, I feel like we're probably going to have to battle back from a bad starting spot, which is relatively normal. But I think that by the end of the day, you'll still see the same guys up front. I think you'll see, I'm not sure the aggressive nature. I don't know how aggressive really you could be, how much more aggressive you could be without just really putting yourself at huge risk of wrecking or getting in an incident on a restart. So there's a limit there. I mean, we can all say that we're going to be more aggressive, but there's only we're really pushing it to the edge every single week. So there's not that much more to get, except for possibly restarts.
All right, we're going to go Lewis, Bruce, and Claire.
Yeah, Lewis, Frank Reuters. You didn't have much trouble getting through traffic at Phoenix. Is this different? Is this a different track than Phoenix for handling traffic on Sunday?
It's actually better, I've found. And, with the multi-groove track like Homestead is, especially where most guys prefer to run up high, I always seem to run lower here. And so I get a whole lot cleaner air than what guys do. So passing has not been as big of an issue at this track in the past as Phoenix has been for me. So if I had half the car that I had at Phoenix here this weekend, we should be okay.
Okay, we're going to go with Bruce, Claire, and David Newton.
Bruce Martin with SI.com. Everybody kind of has an escape that they do when they want to get away from all the, the pressure and all that. How much have you used basketball for that? You know, if you win the chase, you're going to have a lot less opportunities to watch basketball. And if you don't win the chase, you're probably going to be watching a lot of basketball. So how important is basketball in you getting away from all this?
I think it's just more, you know, the off-track activities that I do. You know, whether, you know, I rarely sit at home and do nothing. You know, I'm going out to dinner every night or something, going to some kind of event, whether it be around the Charlotte area or if I'm out of town, I'll go to whatever big events going on. I just do that just to stay halfway sane. And anytime I get bottled up in one area for too long, it just your mind just starts stirring so much, and you just get so bored that I do anyway. That you know, that's why I choose to do those things. So it's just, you know, it just happens that basketball season's in while all this is going on.
But you're going to see the Bobcats and the Heat tonight. I mean, you know, there's got to be something where it's like, this is 2 hours of practice, finally forget about it.
Well, I mean, a little bit for sure. You know, what else is there to do? Really, I mean, it's a good opportunity for me to, you know, kind of see the home team away and also see you know, what the hype is on the Heat.
Let's go Claire, David, and Nate.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. For the record, Jimmy, since we just saw him yesterday, asked him how he slept last night. He said he slept fine, but he thought maybe that you didn't sleep very well when he was in here. And I wondered at, you know, how you're resting and headed into this weekend. You were 30th on the practice sheet. Can you talk about your practice session, too?
It's typical. I mean, it's Friday. You know, where are we at usually on Fridays and where are we usually at on Sundays? It's two different things. Frankly, you know, since this is my last press conference and all for the year, I'll say if he keeps bringing up my name, he's pretty much worried about me. That's all I'll say. I mean, it's, you know, you're not going to say you're not worried and you're relaxed and everything, but keep bringing up my name.
Let's go David, Nate, and Tony.
Yeah, David Newton, ESPN.com, over here in the middle. Two things. One, at what point do you want to know exactly where you are in the points race there? I mean, is there a mark there where 50 laps ago, whatever? And second, fuel mileage. I talked to Mike Ford and Maycar this morning. They seem to think that if it comes down to fuel mileage, you'll still be a little bit of jeopardy because of the situation you had last week, too.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't going to fix our fuel mileage overnight, and we know that. But, you know, we're in super conserve mode as far as our engine package, and it hurts fuel mileage when we do that. Obviously, a mechanical failure will take us out of this thing quicker than anything. So that's the number one thing is you got to have reliability to make it to the end. Then you got to worry about the speed. Then you got to worry about strategy after that. So reliability, I feel like we'll be okay. Obviously, the strategy, number 3 on the list, is obviously one place that we could get hurt, but it just depends on where the cautions fall. The one good thing is the tires are falling off so much during practice that it looks like it's going to be 4 tires or nothing all day. And even if there's any kind of caution at the end, everyone's going to come get tires, and obviously you'll be inside of a fuel window. So that's the one good thing that we will have on our side is it looks like the tires are falling off so dramatically, everyone's going to need them every chance they get.
Okay, let's go with Nate and Tony.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Denny, we saw Speed caught you and Joey and Kyle talking after practice, huddling up. Looks like it was a lot of information being exchanged. I noticed Kyle was second on the practice chart, and I know he's helped you before mile-and-a-half tracks like Charlotte. Did you guys organize that? Do you guys usually meet after practice, or he come over knowing that you might need some help? How did that all transpire, and is that maybe going to help you going forward?
We were just debriefing in the 11 hauler, and Joe was just in there, and we got talking about whether we should just put the 18s qualifying setup in and then go back to what we have for tomorrow. So we decided to do that, and obviously I felt like I needed to talk to Kyle. I told Joe he's in the Nationwide car. He said, I don't care. So go over there and get him. So we got some information exchange. That was about it. It was just a good opportunity. He had just came out of the Cup car, so it was fresh in his mind. And then Joey came and walked over, and obviously he was better than us also in qualifying trim. So any information I can get from them is going to be better. And obviously the 18s, qualifying has been better than ours. So I gotta get in his brain and pick his brain and figure out what we can do to be a little bit better, because we have a good draw. We need to somewhat take advantage of it. I'm not sitting here saying we think we're going to go qualify top 5, because I think that would be a stretch. But with the right adjustments and the right conditions, we could be top 15.
Was that so unusual you wouldn't do that if this wasn't an ordinary weekend?
Probably not. I would just wait until after nationwide practice. It was just, Joe was like, let's take care of it now.
Tony, Ron.
Tony Fabrizio, Tampa Tribune. Denny, both of your parents are here this weekend. Your dad's pretty excited. Can you talk about, what it would mean for you to get it done this weekend after all the sacrifices they made for you to get you going in your racing career?
It's big for the whole family. It's a big weekend for everyone, and win, lose or draw. It's a weekend to experience. To be in this position is something that a lot of Cup drivers have never ever been in, and will never be in. And I got a chance to be a part of it. So for me, it's obviously wanted to have them around for that, and it's good for them because they're at an age now where most couples are probably still working, and they get to come enjoy things like they should have been doing years ago, but they were chasing me around racetracks everywhere. So
Over here to Ron.
Around the Masters National Speed Sport News. Getting back to what Bruce was talking about, next week is Thanksgiving. What do you do for Thanksgiving typically, and it might change depending on the outcome of Sunday night?
I don't know yet. I'm real funny about making plans, especially when things could change, this, that, and the other. So I don't know. I don't know yet. I just wanted to get through this weekend, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do in the off season.
Any other questions for Denny? Mike Mulhern, go ahead.
Mike Mulhern, MikeMulhern.net. Aren't you really just racing Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick? No matter, you can talk about winning the race and leading all the laps and all that sort of stuff, but basically you have to stay right with them or right ahead of them or right behind them. I mean, you got to follow those two guys no matter what they do, and I assume that all three of you guys are doing the same thing, racing each other regardless of whoever else is on the track, and you probably have the same pit strategy and everything.
Yeah, you are. I mean, in a sense, you are just racing those two guys, but we know it will take a top 2 to 3 finish to outrun those guys. So that's where the mentality comes in that we have to win the race. Because tell them that.
Okay, Denny, thank you for coming in. Good luck this weekend.
All right, thanks.